magic at the lake. It's finally here. Happy Halloween. How awesome is it that we have a full moon? 5th week, full moon. I think they call it a Da Vinci moon. It's got the rainbow around it. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. Although it's very cold. Yesterday we had the teeny tiniest little hail. Like, I think I can be hail. Tiny hail. And then the sun came out, and then it snowed like crazy for about 20 minutes. Great big ho-ho flakes, like this little tiny mini blizzard. It was wonderful. But that's how we know it's Halloween. It's either raining or snowing. Although, today it's only supposed to be cold. High of 39, full moon, no snow, sleet, or hail in the forecast. Should be good to go. Changing it up just a little bit, we will get to the Halloween journal, but this is the autumnal witchy project that I want to at least get started on. I have started it. I've been collecting things for it. This is a 1960s encyclopedia. I think 1960. If this is 62, I'm going to play the lottery. Oh, it's 1961. Seems every vintage thing I've shown lately has been 1962. I got a handful of these at a St. Vinny's haul because they remind me of something my grandma had in her house when I was growing up, and I always played school with them. Brilliantly illustrated, although this is going to be an altered book, so I've taken quite a few pages out. But here's some examples of the illustration that's in this book, and every page has some sort of illustration. These guys caught my eye. I'll probably have to take that page out too. I think they're very cool. This is volume 19, and it is VIN through ZWI. There must be a volume 20, ZWI through the end. I don't know. But I just love these books. Now, all of these things came separately. Oh, look, a bat wing. And a moth.
Ooh, 'tis the season to be spooky.
And let's just look at this for a second. Look how pretty that is, and all these beautiful fall colors. So I got these on a trip to St. Vinny's. At a completely different time, I had gotten a packet of bright papers. I'll put a picture in here of what I got. I got it at Walmart, about $6 or $7, and I went to coffee dyeing them. And they turned out so beautifully. I just love them. There's the back sides. Let's see, there's an orange one hiding in here. In completely separate event, I purchased a gorgeous digital kit last fall. It's this watercolory, whimsical, autumnal, and it's sort of witchy. Kind of. You know, there are chalices, but the work is just stunning. Let's get up a little closer. Look how pretty that is. The mushrooms. And it does have some, why I call it kind of witchy, because there's kind of witchies in there. Isn't she wonderful? Could be a scarecrow. She's got wicker hands. Could just be a lady, but that's a witch's hat if I ever saw a witch's hat. I just fell in love with this kit. This is only part of it. I'm sure there's another part, like the papers and whatnot. This is one of the add-ons, you know, for journal cards and ephemera and whatnot. Embellishments. Look at him. I will put the link below to this kit and to this person who created this kit. It's watercolory, but it almost looks like a photograph, which I love. In these beautiful fairy jars, they practically glow. Some light, beautiful kit. Anyway, I had to have it. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And then one day, things just came together. I looked at this book. I was looking for some vintage images for a project, and I pulled this book out and started tearing pages out. And then I thought, oh my gosh, these go really, really well. And I thought, I wonder what these would look like. And it just all came together. Certainly through no plan of mine. I like this brown one as the cover. I may just leave it. I'm certainly going to leave all of this. If I find just the right thing for here, maybe one of the papers from this kit is long enough that I can cover that. But you can see that it doesn't quite fit. It's just, if I put it right down, it's about that much too small. So what I'm going to do, I could just glue it, but that bothers me. Go figure. It just doesn't sit right in my mind. I like that, maybe a hidden woods behind it. So to make my life easier, I might. What I was going to do is paint it this bluish, greenish teal here, up here. But really, it's already done. It's already those colors. So duh, why make my life any more miserable than it is? It's not miserable, complicated. That's what I meant. And this kind of looks like a woods. It is a woods, right? Yeah, it's trees. It's just a secret woods behind the thing. So I'm probably just going to glue that on. As I said, I've already taken out quite a few pages from this. This is sewn in. And this is the type of encyclopedia that I used for my dark fairy tale themed project. I'll link that video below. I really like the bigger size than the typical 9x6. It gives you a lot more places to play, a lot bigger space to fill, which for some can be intimidating, but that's a good challenge. Just as it's a good challenge to do something a completely different shape and size. Challenge yourself. Don't just keep doing the same things over and over again. It's the only way you grow. So I may take a few more pages out of here because I'm seeing some more illustrations that I want. I must have been looking for a specific project and only took a handful. But then what I'm going to do on this project, and I don't like having to trim, but I will because I'm in love with this idea, is I'm going to trim these. I'm going to tear them so that they're all jagged edges. So I'm going to tear them right out of the middle. Although I like these sort of burnt edges, I might keep some of those. I might keep that as the bottom. Keep this edge clean and tear so that I have two clean edges and two rough and torn edges. And just like this dark teal. I just think that's a perfect end papers. I'm also going to leave this just because I love all of the aging. That particular style of illustration and colorization just takes me back to when I was a kid playing school at my grandma's house. I'm going to leave this because I want to pay homage to the original book. And so I'm going to start here. And so I'm going to keep this dark edge and this bottom edge because that's pretty rough. And if I tear, let's just do it. Let's just do one. Get this party started. Leave the tiniest of space at the bottom, so most of the page is covered, and the tiniest space at the top. I don't like to measure. I'm just going to mark, and the tiniest space there, and then I'm going to go to tearing. I like to put the small part. I'm going to tear off this little bit and keep this big piece. So I'm going to keep the big piece so I have something to hang on to. And I'm going to line this up against that line. And I'm just eyeballing it, which is silly, but I don't have, let's see, if I do this, that's straight and that's straight. Kind of using this as an eyeball measurement, this other piece of paper, to make sure that this is straight. Tearing it now. There's my other little tiny pencil mark right there. I'm going to put the smaller piece under the ruler. Line it up on that pencil mark. Get it as straight as I can. Lots of pressure. Oh, look, it's already jacked up. Now these bits, might be the thing. If I can find, I could put that as the background and one of these pictures on top. So there. So keep the scraps because that's going to be used. It could be used for tabs. Can you imagine all these various colored tabs sticking out of this? Yummy. Yum fast. Okay, so into my first page, I'm gonna put the straight edges along into the spine and the rough edges out. Now this book, their images go right to the edge of that page, right to the edge. And so I can put my tabs there to hide it. I can put page edging there to hide it. So I want to try to cover up everything on the page. So I'm going to go as close to that edge as I can, and then deal with this with embellishments. This is the only piece I have cut out, so I'm going to keep using it as an example. But then I could take that down there and cover, and take that right to the edge and cover up the stuff that's sticking out from underneath the pieces of paper. So when you're working in an altered book or a glue book, you work from front to back, you do the middle, and alternate where you're working. Because if you don't, see how nice, even though this is old, it pretty well sits flush on this side. If you don't work alternating back, front, middle, back, front, work throughout the book, it ends up getting kittywampus like that. If you work just front to back, it goes like this. If you go the other way, it's going to look like that. And I want it to remain flush. So I'm going to glue this one here, and then I'm going to go into the back somewhere, not necessarily the back, but toward the back, and do the same thing with another piece of paper and glue all those down. Once I get, I'll probably make some pockets because it is going to be an altered book, and by that I would just fold a page down and decorate thusly. There's lots and lots happening here. This is more autumnal than Halloween, so I may continue to work on this through November because I'm really jazzed about it. I want to at least get the foundation pages in and the tabs on, and I'll probably go back and get the other part of this kit, part or parts. One of the good things about doing that is sometimes, not all the time, but because I got this last year, she has all new stuff out this year, so this might be on sale. Always thrifty thinking, you know? And I've tried eco dyeing once or twice, not terribly successful either time. I gave it another go. I saw a different method of doing it on Sasibo's channel. I think her name is Dragona on Sasibo's channel, and I tried it because she has a no boil method, a no cook method, and that seemed way better to me than cooking it. So I tried it. I missed a key point in the conversation, and I'll get to that in a minute. So I took Bitsy for a walk, and I gathered up wherever I walked where there were flowers dying. I gathered up the dead petals. So I had a handful of gorgeous bright hot pink rose petals and some asters from my own garden, some phlox from my own garden, some geranium leaves, some geranium petals, heads, and a few other miscellaneous things from my garden. And I have a really cool plant called, it's a chocolate mint plant. So when you pick it and you take a sniff of it, you break the leaf and take a little whiff, the first whiff you get is chocolate. It's so cool. And then you get the mint. It's like an Andes mint factory in my backyard. When I cut my grass, I pull a whole bunch of it and I scatter it all over the yard, and then I mow my lawn and my whole yard for a few seconds. Smells like chocolate mint. It's wonderful. Anyway, that was kind of the hero. That and the geranium leaves were kind of the hero of this project. I'll explain this here in a minute. So here are the geranium leaves. You can see that they actually did something. Here's mint leaf. Where'd my mint leaf go? There. Hard to tell. There it is. Let's see. Anything else cool on this one? There's another one. So what she did was she called it paper lasagna. It had a 9x13 pan. She had cut pieces of paper so they fit perfectly in there. She layered coffee. Actually, I think hers was tea. I layered coffee and then she put paper down, and then her natural elements, flower petals, leaves, etc., and then sprayed that with water, and then, the tea, and then put another piece of paper on, laid a whole bunch of petals and whatnot, and laid another piece of paper on, layer after layer after layer. She did about 20. I might have maybe 15 here, maybe 20, I don't know. And then she weighted them down with a lot of books and a lot of stuff for 24 hours. She couldn't get to it in 24 hours, so she waited 48 hours, no big deal. So I did it. And at 24 hours, I couldn't wait anymore. I was nosy, so I peeked in, and I couldn't see anything. When I pulled back the paper, all I could see was coffee dye. I couldn't see anything in it. And I thought, well, I'm not going to go through all this work and not have any color. Like, the vibrant red petals did nothing. And the purple flowers did nothing. I was so surprised by that. There was no color. So I went back and I rewatched the video, and the part that I missed is that in her bottle that she was spraying, it was very hot water. I just used what I had. In fact, it was cold in the fridge, so there was no heat to it at all. Well, when I watched that, I put the whole thing, I took all the weight off of it, and I put it all in the oven to boil it a little bit. And then I peeked, and there was still no color. So then I got my fun sprays out, and I hit it with fun sprays, and I let it just sit for another day. And that's why there's color on it, because for me, it didn't work. Of course, I didn't do it properly. I didn't have nice hot water. I had ice cold stuff, so my own fault. However, I really like how they ended up turning out. They're grungy and they're muted, but bright. They're a little worse for wear. Again, the geranium leaves were the hero along with the mint. Here's a whole bunch of mint leaves. Actually, these are petals. This is a different kind of leaf. So I guess things turned out a little better than I originally thought. But it was fun. It was interesting. The other thing that happened is that the fun sprays, the hot pink is seriously hot pink. Like, holy Hannah, is it bright. And I didn't want it bright. I wanted it like this. So I ended up mixing up. I used teal and orange, which neutralize each other out. A little bit of purple and some green, which neutralize each other out in one little thing, and made this muddy, dark, yuck mess. And I toned down all the hot pink because, holy Hannah, it was like a neon sign. And I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Now these, I left it so long in the stuff, it just fell apart. And that's all right. This would make good tabs as well. It's almost like momigami. If I put some oil on this, this would be like chamois leather. It'd be great. But make tabs, page edging, clusters. I'm saving every bit. It took a lot of time, but it was kind of a mindless activity, and it's quite pretty. And I think it complements these quite nicely. This one is so obnoxious. It throws everything off. So I think if I use just little bits here and there, because there's a lot of orange here and a lot of orange in the kit. So I'm going to use it, but it's just as obnoxious. Anyway, and then I got this one super dark one. This was on top, and I baked it to get some color, and it browned my paper. Holy Hannah. Almost burnt it. But I didn't, so I think that would just make a really cool page. Maybe I'll put it in my Halloween journal because it's just so yummy. Oh yay, more pages for the Halloween journal. So that is my witchy autumnal project that I've got going on, that I will be working on. And I'm so excited to use these fantastic, bright, coffee-dyed papers. And my beautiful encyclopedia and my wonderful kit. I had this dark blue. I think it's a shopping bag. It was a nice dark blue. I'm going to have to grunge it up, though, a little bit. Okay. Okay. So if you're just coming into this video, there's lots of videos before this. You're celebrating Halloween. And myself, Amy at Doki Doki Forest, and Carrie at Carrie's Mixed Media Art are hosting a virtual trick-or-treat event. So sometime between now and midnight tonight, you still have time to go and get your free digitals. And I am telling you what, there are free digitals like nobody's business. Carrie at Mixed Media Art did 3 free digitals. Super cool. She shows you how to make them in her video. She shows you what she did with her kit. Phenomenal, outstanding, beautiful, wonderful. Amy at Doki Doki Forest did one of her kits, and it's so much fun. And yesterday she did a video about how she used hers and how she put it together. Magical, just super, super fun and magical. And then yesterday she added a bonus, a super cool, none of us have done it, bonus. So go check out their videos. Of course, the links will be below so that you can get your free digitals. I have a free digital printable and a bonus as well. So, and that bonus has 16 parts to it. So go to our videos, get the links, and go get the freebies. They're all free, 100% free, but they disappear at midnight tonight. Trick or treat. Happy Halloween from us to you. Another project that I've been working on this season is this little, I call it Skeletons in the Closet journal. I had this box from a screensaver for my phone, and I thought it needed a journal, and so I made this little journal that fits in here perfectly. It's about the size of a checkbook. This is my sandwich paper as a cover. It's sort of leathery. It's kind of thick and wonderful. And what I ended up doing is making an Alice Cooper scrapbook. I love Alice Cooper. And so I had a ball going to the internet and pulling out pictures of the man, the myth, and then putting them in here. And it's kind of like a personal scrapbook of his career. Throughout mine, I have some lyrics from his song, Welcome to My Nightmare. This kit is available free to my Patreon members, by the way. So if you're interested, go over there, hop on. Even if you just want to be a patron for the month, you can get the freebies and go. It'd be awesome if you stayed, but you don't have to. Some lyrics to his song. One of my favorite songs of his is Only Women Bleed. So here are the lyrics to Only Women Bleed. And a fabulous bloody Alice Cooper. It just goes perfectly well. I'm thinking maybe a wax mold of his face. He's holding, how cool is that? In concert. I think my sister just went and saw him in concert a couple weeks back, and I'm so jealous. Because I imagine he still rocks. And I cut them out. I left enough space so that when I cut them out, they look like faux Polaroids. I got that idea from Janet Nash. And so later I'm going to write, you know, like you write on the bottom of pictures what year it was and, you know, just some notes. I love, these look like curtains to me. And he's in a straitjacket here. Life is just a dream here. I just love this guy. He used to be on the Muppets quite often. Here's him and Kermit. I love that. Him and the Muppets. He's so young. He's so young. There's Kermit. Him and Miss Piggy. I love this newspaper looking picture I found. And another Polaroid. These are all cut Polaroid style. And him. I can't remember which Muppet that is. But I love the look on his face. He did a lot with Vincent Price too. Which is, you know, brilliant. Two of my favorite men of all time. You feel right at home here. Him and Vincent Price again. Another one of my favorite songs is from the album From the Inside, and it's all about from the inside of a mental hospital. And this one's all about Cold Ethel. One thing I miss is Cold Ethel and her skeleton kiss. We met last night making love by the refrigerator light, and I'm just going to leave it there. It's Cold Ethel, and I found this great picture with this ice cold blue background. I imagine he's singing Cold Cold Ethel here. I don't know. This is a hint to what the rest of the song is about. And some things are just slightly off kilter, just a little crooked by design. Just a little off. There's that same picture again, but with a quote, "Welcome to my nightmare. I think you're going to like it. I hope I didn't scare you." And some of these, they glued down so well. I brayered them, and it looks like they're part of the page. It's pretty cool. In his white tux, dancing with skeletons. Again, there's Vincent Price dressed up as a spider because he talks about, he has a song called Black Widow. The Welcome to My Nightmare lyrics, the album cover, picture of the album. I think maybe that's where they got the idea for Beetlejuice's outfit, and a bigger size picture of the cover. Now, I made an extra page on Canva so that I could put the lyrics in. I had so many pictures and I didn't think I would have enough room, so I put this on its own so I'd have an extra page, extra 2 pages, and then I could have this centerfold. Turns out I have to go get about 8 more pictures. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare 2. There's Vincent Price again with Alice Cooper from the Alice Cooper Show, which started my whole obsession when I was 6 years old. I just fell in love with that guy. I still, when I see these pictures, my crazy heart just goes pitter-pat. I just love this guy. This looked like bones. I think it's a cage made of bones, so it's perfect with the skeleton. She's upside down on purpose. That's just the way we are when we come down. This is him with Salvador Dali, the famous surrealist painter. They did some things together. I don't know if he's blessing him or anointing him or what he's doing. But both of them, brilliant showmen and marketing geniuses. All of them. Vincent Price as well. So smart. And so I have this postcard somewhere. I've been to the Salvador Dali Museum several times, and when I saw Alice with him, I just had to have that. Couple magazine covers, maybe. I'm not sure. This is from the inside, the cover of the cover of the album, and it opens up, and you can see inside the asylum, and they're all here. All the crazies are here, looking out through his eyes. Phenomenal album, brilliantly made. It's psychological thriller of an album. It's amazing. More Welcome to My Nightmare. Vincent Price, Alice Cooper, and a dog. Oh my God. It just doesn't get any better than that. A color picture of him and Vincent. A couple pages left to fill. This is the Black Widow lyrics, and of course him with the Black Widow, and then my crazy girl on the back. I am so jazzed about how this turned out. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. So there's that. Now we're gonna finish making this bugger. He stayed pretty cool. I don't know how I got him so crooked. Look how crooked he is. I looked straight last night, and I was not drinking, by the way. I'll put a picture in here because the spider web that I cut out did not show up. It was just bright white, and that looked kind of stupid. So I feathered it out with paint. Now you can see, even from way far back, you can see this black sort of shadow. I may go back and Mod Podge it later just so that it has more of the same texture, but look how well that Mod Podge knocked down that crazy. Still, when you shine it like this, you still get glimpses of that dragonfly glaze, but it's so subtle now. All of those colors, you can still see them, but they're not obnoxiously bright. They're just there. That's the look that I was going for. So I think it went really well. Another thing I just thought of, could take twine and glue it on and make the ribs. I think I'll probably do a hidden spine. Oh no, I know what I'm doing. but I can still hide that. No, you can't. No, you can't. It's okay. It's all right. If I want to do the ribs, I can take off my binding because I'm just going to no-sew it in. So it's going to be, I just have to tie it back on. It'll be fine if I want to put the ribs on, but I don't have to. But you could put ribs on, paint them black, put them on. Could have done that before I put the tape on. That would have been awesome. You know, hindsight, that's how you learn. So I know I had my corners out. Might as well get those on. I'm going to put Fabri-Tac in the corners. Sorry, try to do it on camera, would you please? Just a little Fabri-Tac inside those corners. I was going to cover it up so that the pliers don't make... Some people wrap tape around or fabric around and secure that on so you get the pressure. You just don't get the track marks, but it's a Halloween journal and I don't care. Give it a good squeeze on both sides. You know you squeezed hard when there's a bubble of glue coming out. I'm just gonna wipe that down and put the other one on. I wish you could feel it. It feels so cool with that material in there. It just feels awesome. When my bottles of Fabri-Tac get low, I leave them upside down in my little holder over here so that I just don't have the patience to wait for it and argue with it and beg it to come down and whatnot. But you get that a little bit, but I'd rather have that a little bit of waste than a whole bunch of frustration. I wipe it off before I put the top on and then put it back in upside down. See if I can grab the first one. I didn't quite catch that gray material and I had to pry it up and reinsert the shirt material into the corner, and I'm trying to avoid that this time, and it helps if the shirt is glued down. So the shirt's in there good and properly. Now the other one fit beautifully. There, corner covers are on. So I don't really like the way the leather is looking. So what I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm not going to waste your time with it, but I am going to go back and make that darker black, and maybe throw in some color to kind of match up everything. Same thing around here, but I can do that later. You've already seen the technique. I'm just gonna do it again. So I do want this on the cover. And if I put this here, I may not have to deal with that bottom. I just love that. I may somehow gold up his face or some kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna jazz him up, just maybe give him a, because this guy's missing a tooth. Maybe I'll give him a gold one or black his tooth out. Maybe that'll be it. Fright night with a full moon or something wicked this way comes. I don't know. I might just leave it like that for now and find something else. I thought that would be it, but I don't think I like the two, but I do like just that. This pusher, it's a cuticle pusher. Yeah, I think it's a cuticle pusher. It came in a gel nail kit, I believe, and it has come in handy in the craft room so many times I can't even count. That was a gift from Leanne. Thank you, Leanne. We're going to put our pages in. And this style of binding is getting more and more prevalent and popular because it's so easy and it makes working on your pages so much easier. I'm just going to tie them in. If I want to sew them later, I can. If I get it all done and decide that I want them sewn in, I can do that, and I would do that in a hidden spine. I'm also going to use the black and white baker's twine, paying homage to Beetlejuice and Alice Cooper in that black and white suit. I think I'll have enough. I'm going to go one, just like if you're doing a pamphlet stitch, I do that. Of course, I don't do that. I'm going to take my baker's twine here at the top, and I'm just going to wrap it around the spine. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough here, but I have a whole nother roll. There's one for one signature, 2 signatures, 3 signatures. And I have just enough to sew it. Excuse me, cheese and crackers, just enough to tie it. Even it out a little bit so I have more to work with. So I've got my 2 ends. I'm going to put the one on this side underneath and the one on this side. Oh, how did I do that last time? Because I want to kind of tie it together so that they're pinched here in the center. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm figuring out again as we go. If I do that. So what I'm going to do for in the essence of time is I've put one underneath, and then I've made the first knot. Now I'm going to take the one and put it underneath again and again, just so that I know that they're going to be pinched, and then I'm going to tie them together in a knot. I can dangle charms on here if I want, and these now can spread out. Like that. I just think that makes a cool design on the spine. Find some cool charms. I'll have to add some more string because I didn't leave, there wasn't enough here to leave long tails. So there's my 3 signatures. Put my cover back. And I want him to be first, so I'm going to do like this. This is the 3rd signature. So I'm going to find the center fold. I still see a skeleton laying on a bear rug in front of a empty gothic fireplace. Every time I say that word, I will probably see that vision. Thank you so kindly for that. And it just slides in. Now if I want to work on a page, I can just pull it out and work on the page. Flat, put the whole book away so you're not grunging up the cover you work so hard to make. And if I want to rearrange the pages for some reason, I can do that until I get it done. Is there any such thing really as done? I don't think so. I'm going to put your middle signature in. My middle signature. I still have to glue that down. I might as well do that while we're doing this. Okay. Oh, my tabs don't even really stick out, but they do look awfully cool. That grunged up lace looks awesome. It looks very haunted mansion-y. Quite like it. Like the back. Excuse me, the spine and the back. Very happy about that. Love the way that it feels. These are cool. I may go back and add ones on the back. I don't know for sure. I might add these to the back. And then when you open it, this happens once in a while with glue. That bothers me. Will that cover both? It will. If I put this there. I don't know if it's coming up on camera, but that wicked is not just shiny black. It's like the dragonfly glaze, blues and purples, like a black rainbow. Oh, very cool. Just grab whatever's handy. I like using art glitter glue for little things like this because it's got such a nice small tip, even without the metal tip. That Fabri-Tac is kind of like a bull in a china shop, especially leaving it upside down like that. You get more than you need sometimes and whatever. So there, we've got our signatures in, our torn paper bits, signature number 2 with all of our fun pages. I mentioned this in the other video and then I cut it out, but I still think I need to just to clarify, sideways. She has horizontal pages, but the backs are, she has landscape on the front and portrait on the back of some of the pages. Ugh. So now I have sideways skulls. I'm just going to cover them up and they're going to be gone, but yes, it does bother me. So you get to see part of the kit, you know, this blotchy fence. So somebody hit it with blood and acid or bleach or something. The coffee dyed. So yeah, I love how this torn page looks, and I'm sure I'll tear more pages when I get to playing, but there's the other half of that picture. So they're cool standalone. That's cool. You can't really see anything. This is the other side of the skulls. And then the third signature. These are, I just think they're wonderful. If I don't actually just cover the staples, I will go and ink them up somehow, and so that they're not shiny silver staples in a grungy. You know, it's attention to detail. It matters. It does matter. A little ghosty with the hat. More torn bits. And the torn bits that I tore off, I'll put in here somewhere as well. Really happy to have it done. So now next year, all I have to do, and Christina at Christina's Shack had a great comment. You know, why wait a year? Why not embrace your dark side? This isn't how she worded it, but what I said to her is, yeah, my dark side is never very far away, so why should I only work on Halloween once a year? So I may keep plugging away at this. I may. But I do like the other holidays too. I want to fully embrace Christmas and Thanksgiving. I've got at least one Thanksgiving project. Amy and I are working on yet another collaboration that might be a fall project. So I've had my fun with this. I've gotten where I wanted it. I'm going to put all my stuff together in one place so I know exactly what I have. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching this process. I hope maybe you found a tip or two. I love this here next to that. I'm probably going to grunge up these little white bits because they're little spider webs, but they're too bright. So I'm going to just probably hit it with Vintage Photo. Knock that down a little bit. I'm going to put some kind of title. I'd like something curvy. We'll see. We'll see. Work in progress. Very happy with how it came out. So happy that you joined us for this virtual Halloween event. Again, it's not too late. You have until midnight tonight, Halloween night, to go get your Halloween free trick-or-treat digital. The freebies will disappear at midnight tonight, so just the people who played along with the virtual trick-or-treat event will have access to them free. Our stuff may end up finding their way to Etsy, our Etsy stores, or our paid Patreon pages, but for free, they will disappear. I hope you have a lovely, lovely, safe, and fun Halloween. Enjoy the full moon. Enjoy the season. Bundle up, because you're probably going to be cold out there. Keep your beastlies safe. Leave them at home. They don't like all the creepy stuff. They don't, like being on another planet at night. Just, leave them at home where they're happy and safe. My Dig at the Lake, out for now.